I stood there in that middle of church with a bottle of gin in my hand. I'm looking up at the rooftop like I'm trying to find my long lost friend. My days turn to nights, my nights turn to weeks when you're living life on the road. I'm halfway back to New Orleans with a few more drinks to go. I said, tip 'em on back. Well, let's tip 'em on back. I finally made it back to Bourbon Street, picking some of them old night bars, hoping I could find myself playing music on my guitar. For the kid around, they all shouted out as the drinks began to flow. I pulled out that old guitar, then I showed them how to do-si-do. I said, tip 'em on back. Well, let's tip 'em on back. I stood there in that middle of church with a bottle of gin in my hand, looking up at the rooftop like I'm trying to find my long lost friend. Days turn to nights, my nights turn to weeks when you live a life on the road. Halfway back to New Orleans with a few more drinks to go. I said, tip 'em on back. Well, let's tip 'em on back. so hot. You really get me going when you're mixing up your pot. When I get home, I'm hungry. I think you know what I mean. 'Cause in the kitchen you are waiting to make that gumbo with me. Let's make some gumbo, baby. Make it spicy, make it sweet. Let's make some gumbo, baby. Daddy's hungry, it's time to eat. Let's make some gumbo, baby. Kettle fire's burning hot. Let's make that gumbo, baby. Here I come. Ready or not. Ready or not. Ready or not.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
It's Friday night and I'm feeling low, and you're the reason that I do so. I'll keep on drinking till I comatose.
Hey guys, welcome. This is Pop Culture Warrior. I am your host CQ. You might notice that I'm going sans video for the time being. I recognize that there's a bit of a lag in the video, so I'm gonna test this out. We're gonna try and see if we can't do this without you seeing my lovely face. And it's a shame too, because I'm growing in this great beard, my quarantine beard. But regardless, welcome. This is episode 7 of the Pop Culture Warrior show. Like I said, I'm your pop culture coach, your concierge CQ. With me, as always, is he's the gamma radiation to my Hulk, right? He's the voice of the unpop cultured. I give you, ladies and gentlemen, the radiant Mr. Radar.
What's up, buddy?
What's
ready
going
to
on,
do
man?
this shit?
We're ready to do
Hell
this.
yeah.
Son's video, but that's all good. It's all good, man. So how you doing, man? How you hanging in there and holding through this shutdown, this quarantine, this dead end?
Man, I don't know. I'm not quarantined at all. We're still working, man. We're like, the kids are home, mama's home, fucking, and I'm going to work every day.
Right.
Like, whatever.
Yeah,
Hey.
it's just another Tuesday, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know. I work for the county, right? I work for a local county here. And so they're like, oh, yeah, we should, like, train you guys to, like, be sheriffs and, like, do all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, no, you're just going to go do what you always do. And now you can't smoke in your vehicles or on property anymore. So it's a little difficult for me being a pretty habitual smoker. It's been a long couple days.
I can imagine. It's pretty much business as usual too for here in the CQ household, and it's one of those things where you make do. You hope that there's no major issues and just kind of continue as you were. This weekend, we with everything kind of being shut down where I'm at, you can't really go out, you can't really do things, everything's closed. So we did something we haven't done in a long time. Is me and the wife and the kid, we stayed in, we watched movies, we played games, we played around the house. We lot of house cleaning. I got the garage organized. I got everything. I do all the honey to-do list kind of things knocked out. So It was definitely a busy, productive, and kind of fun. As a pop culture guy, I got to sit back and watch movies and catch up on some stuff that I've missed, some shows that I missed, and yeah, so it's been good. I don't know. Last weekend, not this past weekend, the weekend before that, before everything kind of started shutting down, I think I said I even went to the movies because I said, some new movies were out. Bloodshot, which is a comic book movie, or movie based on a comic book, and it was right before they like all the theaters closed and everything. So I was like, man, this might be my one shot to see the movie. Who knows how these things go out. And so we ran out, watched the movie, and literally like on the way home, they're like, yes, all theaters are closed, all public gatherings closed. So yeah, so it was just it was something. It's been something. It's when I envisioned doing a pop culture radio show / podcast. It never dawned on me that there might come a day where it's like, well, guys, no news because the end of the world. Like everything's shut down. The pulp culture is dead. There is nothing, but nothing that we can't overcome, whatnot. But yeah, I see. I see. Yeah, we got already comments that the music was a lot louder than the host star. Okay, sorry about that. I'll kick it up a notch, man. Hopefully that allows you guys to hear me a little bit better. How's that? Anybody? We're live editing this thing as we go. Hopefully I'm not too loud now, but yeah, you let me know, and I will change it on the fly. But anyway, thank you guys for being part. I know we got a bunch of people there watching at home. Thank you guys for participating and listening in. This is your weekly dose of what's going on in the world of pop culture, and yeah. I'm
just give me like nothing's going on. That was the show. Just hanging out.
Yeah, so thanks for stopping by, guys. We're nothing's happening. Nothing's at all happening. So appreciate you guys coming, and we'll see you next week. No, I'm just kidding.
So are they gonna have like a coronavirus comic book coming out? Someone's gonna be working on that shit, right?
Right. Yeah. No. Some type of apocalyptic end of the world plague. Hey, zombies are all the rage, right? So. Here you go. We're almost there in Zombieland. So okay, we got the thumbs up. It sounds great. Hey, there we go.
Speaking of that, what's the Twinkie situation looking like?
Hey, so I've got the inside scoop. I've got friends of mine, for all those, and again, I don't want to bog this down. There's plenty other radio shows talking about, the news and the viruses and all this and all that. That's not what you came here for. But I will say that I do have close friends that are in like the shipping. I know a guy that runs the trains. I know a guy that does the truck driving stuff, and all shipping lanes are still good to go. There's still, plenty of stuff in warehouses. There's no need to go out and bulk buy. I mean, obviously, the natural reaction to seeing someone hoard toilet paper is then to go, oh my God, let me get toilet paper. But you can be assured that, like, as a nation, we're not running out of supplies. We're not running out of food or any like stuff like that. So I've been assured by all my contacts that we're still trucking along as usual. So anyway, to some real pop culture news. You're a gamer, right, Radar? You play games? Yes, you do.
Yeah, I do a lot more when I'm not muted.
Right. Are you playing games right now? Is that what's happening? Are you playing games?
Does Pocket Pool count?
Yes.
No, I do. And actually, I got some game news too that I just found out.
Oh.
If you play World of Tanks on either console or computer, PC, you can get some free premium time. I think it's 2 weeks on computer and 1 week, maybe 10 days on the consoles.
Oh,
so
right on.
there you go.
Right on. Yeah, no, World of Tanks, that whole umbrella of games. I think it's like World of Tanks, was it World of Warships, and a bunch of other ones. It's a great organization, man. They really, A, they do a great job with the game. B, they do a ton of stuff to support veterans. I know that they've given out free game codes to, like, there's a gaming organization out there called Stack Up. Wounded Warrior Project is getting into the gaming stuff, and they've collaborated. So they definitely do a ton for veterans, disabled veterans, and veterans. So yeah, if you like that, simulation kind of, driving a tank around, shooting each other, or warships or battleships or things like that, there's definitely a really good game worth checking out. So I definitely think.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. I play the shit out of World Tanks. That's one of my one of my weaknesses. I actually have a little model tank in front of me as I'm talking.
Very nice, very nice. Yes, no, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely have to. We have to get online sometime together and play. I play a
Yeah,
bit.
dude.
I'm a casual World of Tanks player. I'm not like super deep into it as I am with other games, but I definitely do play a bit with that. But I bring up gaming news because the sad news is that it's official. E3, the biggest gaming convention of the year, has been canceled. It was supposed to run from June 9th to June 11th in the Los Angeles Convention Center, and it is now canceled. They're not even saying, possible postponing it to a later. Like, it's just right now it's kaput. Which is like the first time in, my God, I can't even remember the year that there was no E3 around. So, very sad day in gaming. Now, a lot of the gaming companies are going to step up and do like whatever it is they were going to announce there. They're going to do like almost like live virtual presentations. So like Xbox already did one, PlayStation's already done one. So there's a lot of game companies that were planning to release stuff and announce stuff and show off stuff. They're just going to do it kind of their own way, released either, Facebook or email, or I don't know, stream it from the website, something. So kind of a bummer. It's one of those things that, yeah, it would have been cool. It would have been cool to see what's going on in the world of, in gaming, but it's the world we live in right now, right? I mean, what else can we do? So, I see a bunch of people watching, man. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got a big audience. Like I said, if you're just tuning in, usually you can see my lovely face. I know we're having some tech issues with drop frame rates and things like that, so I don't want to load your video feed with a ton of moving graphics and things like that. So trying to streamline this feed as much as possible. So what else? So here's a cool story. So obviously this whole COVID-19, this coronavirus is affecting everybody. It's affecting the world. It's affecting how we shop, go to movies, etc. One of the big things is obviously school. Anybody out there with kids knows that your kids aren't going to school. They're at home probably with you or with a babysitter. So I found this really cool story where it talks about how Japanese schools have been closed for well over 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks at this point. And they're going to remain closed through spring vacation and into the foreseeable future. Now, the way Japanese school year ends, they end in March and begin in April. So it's not the way we have it here in the States. So for a lot of students, this time off would have been their graduation. And so the really cool thing, and I'm gonna share a picture. Hopefully, it doesn't cause too much lag. But the really cool thing is, for those that can see the pictures, is that these students decided to hold their own graduation inside of Minecraft. The kids got together and built a graduation ceremony and participated. They were all live in there, and I guess teachers jumped on and things like that. And so it was a cool. This is a really cool story of how gamers, kids, can overcome the adversity, right? Like a challenge came, an issue came, and they were thinking outside the box. Well, how can we get together and celebrate our graduation? And so they did it inside a video game. So very cool, very cool. Have you ever played Minecraft?
I watch my kids do it.
You watch your kids do it? I highly suggest it. It can be very addicting, man. I for a long time I played Minecraft, and we had online servers, and we built worlds, man. We had villages and cities, and train. You could hop a train to go to the next town, and it was crazy, man. I used to play with a bunch of people, and it can be a real time suck because it's this great feeling of accomplishment. You're building things and creating things, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Highly encourage people to go check out Minecraft. Play Minecraft. Check out videos of Minecraft. It's really cool. And for those people that can encourage their kids, it's a great way to teach the fundamentals of a lot of building concepts. And on the surface it's very simple, right? It's just square blocks and you're stacking blocks, but there are many complicated and more robust features kind of under the surface where like they're working on wiring. So the idea, you can activate switches and things like that. So you have to think of how an electrical current would work and put those ideas together in a very simple way that kids can understand and play with. So I know a lot of people that have their kids play, and that stimulates that creativity and that natural urge to explore and build bigger and better things, so more complex things. So I think it's a great thing. I really like Minecraft. It's bigger now than when I played, but yeah, pretty cool.
Well, and the kids, it sure does help them, I think, honestly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like my kids, they build some crazy shit. They really do. Like they're like, oh, look at my sweet pool and house, and then I don't know, they spend hours. And then the thing I've never understood about Minecraft is that's one of those games where the kids will turn theirs off and then watch other kids play the same thing they were just doing.
Yeah. There's there's a lot of games out there, I think, that are fun to play, but not necessarily fun to watch someone play. But I know Minecraft's a really great one. Obviously kids love these battle royale games and watching people succeed at that. I could watch people play Dead by Daylight all day. It's such a great fun game, and I love to watch tactically. I'm observing people's moves and how they do different things and get away with different stuff. And yeah, Minecraft's definitely a good one. I know my wife she used to hate playing video games and would not be around, but there was always one game that when I played it she would sit down and actually watch, and that was the Uncharted series on PlayStation. It was just such a cinematic masterpiece that she would sit there glued as if she was watching a movie while I'm sitting there playing. So there's definitely some games that I think lead better towards playing and watching people play. So anyway, so speaking of video games, so again, because E3 being canceled, we're getting a lot of the announcements over social media and over the different methods. So Xbox went ahead and revealed the full specs of the Xbox Series X that's coming out this holiday season. It is ridiculous. I mean, ridiculous. And we talked about it a little bit before in one of the past episodes when they just kind of showed their hand a little bit. But it talks about 12 teraflops of power. That's able to enable the true 4K gaming, video up to 120 frames per second, which I'm struggling to get 30 right now. The console is going to have 1 terabyte, custom solid state drive for memory. It's going to be preloaded and ready to do 8K gaming, which isn't even on the horizon technically yet. So as games get better and as companies and developers get better, once they can hit that ultra high resolution of 8K, this system will be able to process it and put it out there. It's going to have custom AMD Zen 2 CPU, 8 core, custom AMD RNDA2 GPU, 16 gigs so many letters, GDDR RAM, custom 1 terabyte NVMe standard or solid state drive. So just really a ton of hardware that they're cramming in here. Cool features like the quick resume feature, which is going to be able to, you're going to be able to not just, so like right now I can watch TV, jump over to my game, jump back to TV, jump back to my game, no problem, no loading. But if you wanted to jump from like game to game, you'd have to load between games. So now the new quick resume allows you to go play one game, jump to another game, and when you jump back to the first game or in any other game, you pick up right where you left off. So no loading times anymore. Like once you get that first loading out the way, it's going to be able to quick resume right back to where you left off. And they're even saying you'd be able to turn off, unplug, plug it back in, update the console, and still be able to boot directly back into the game exactly where you left it running. So that is crazy banana pants, because for anybody that knows, new update comes out, man, you got to turn off the thing, update the whole thing, and boot everything back up. Or jumping, like I said, from one game to another. If I'm playing Madden with one friend, and then my group of friends are like, hey man, we got an open spot in this lobby to do this game, I can just boom hop right over and be in that lobby without having to cut this one game down, reload the other game, and hope that I can get in. So very cool, very 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 cool features. Like I said, 4K at 60 frames per second. The new DirectX ray tracing, which is like realistic light and sound in games. Shadows will soften or harden depending on the distance from an object. I mean, it's crazy, and they've been little by little showing these little vignettes of how the features kind of look and work, and it's incredible. It's incredible. I do love that what it's doing. And here I'm gonna even we're gonna take a chance here, because I have this really cool side by side comparison. And so now I'm gonna click over video, and I apologize if it gets a little jumpy or laggy or whatnot. But here we are. Hey guys, you can see me now. So as you can see, they've got the right over here. What is it? Let's see if I can do this. Nope, that way. There it is. Hey, everything's backwards. The Xbox Series X, they released the information for that. Now, just so you know, the PlayStation 5, that is not actually what it's going to look like, because even though they announced all the tech and the hardware, they have not shown what it's going to look like. They've still kept it in the dark. I'm assuming they're going to wait until that E3 timeframe of June to maybe to reveal the system. So that's just a placeholder PlayStation, but it will have the same that GPU, that CPU, that memory. Those are all the pieces that they've announced, which for anyone that's, it's really obvious. If you compare the two, it really looks like Xbox is going to be the more powerful system. Memory wise, GPU, CPU, everything across the board. It looks like Xbox might have the lead. Now, there's always a chance that, PlayStation goes back and says at the last minute, let's try to kick it up a notch and double down on some of the tech. But because usually and gamers know this, usually with PlayStation, it's the more powerful machine. It's got the better graphics. Xbox has always been like the better stable online play, things like that. And it comes down to if you like one controller over the other, or the exclusive titles or whatnot. But typically PlayStation has the stronger system. So this might be the first generation of console where Xbox actually has the more powerful system. So it's yet to be determined or not, but hopefully anybody want to comment on how does the video look? On my end, it's definitely looking like it's going to be dropping quite a bit. So if
it looks really choppy to me.
Yeah.
Not to be dick.
No. I if any of you guys are a tech person out there, I would love some feedback, because everything looks good and everything works good, and then we go live and everything just kind of plummets. So I don't know. Maybe I need to upgrade my my internet speeds or something. I've got to kick in for the extra the extra oomph in internet, I guess. But
everyone's quarantined and watching porn and stuff, so you can't.
That's a big story going around a lot, is that because of everyone quarantining, that all these services, so everything from YouTube, Disney Plus, everything that provides a service, they're downgrading the service. They're throttling back the amount that they're pushing, because it's like clogging up the internet. So that is a real That is a real thing. Do you use a VPN? I don't, man. I don't. Hey, Doc. Xbox 100%. I've seen the comments come in. You guys are the best. Do I use a VPN? No, I don't use a VPN. Should I use a VPN? I'll have to look at that. He says Pornhub has broke the internet. Yeah. I definitely think that this quarantine time, everything from Netflix all the way to all the streaming services to YouTube, it's really putting a real clog on the internet. Really, I'm gonna go back off video for now because hopefully that you don't have to see the choppiness of me jumping around like I have a strobe light going off in my face. So what else? What else do we have? We've talked about the Xbox. Oh, yeah. Okay. So here's a really cool report that I was excited. I'm trying to give you guys some things that have nothing to do with coronavirus. I'll give you a small reprieve from hearing coronavirus news. So a really cool thing if you're into gaming. Not too long ago, it was a couple years now, but it wasn't that long ago that this like secretive playable demo was released online. I don't know if you ever heard about it. It was called PT, like the initials PT. And a lot of people said it stood for player test. But it was this sneaky, it was this horror game. Like it was a horror demo where they were trying like next gen cutting edge kind of stuff to really increase the levels of terror and like anxiety in playing. You were basically stuck in this loop going through this house over and over and over again, but each time you went through it, it was like slightly different. So one time you'd come around the corner and there'd be a ghost there, and then another time you'd hear a crying baby like in the walls, and like all these crazy, trippy, mind-bending stuff. If you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely look up videos of PT on, and not the military PT that we know and love, but this is PT. It was basically a testable demo reel of what they were trying to accomplish to bring out a new Silent Hill game. So this was Hideo Kojima was working on a new Silent Hill game, and this was kind of a teaser of what he was working on. Now, at the time, everybody got super hyped over it. Well, if you remember, Hideo Kojima, who's famous for a lot of games, including the Metal Gear Solid series, he had a falling out with Konami, which was the company that was producing a lot of this stuff. So this was a huge bummer of a news for a lot of people because this thing looked incredible. It looked terrifying on a whole new level. Like I'm talking back like when you first played the first Resident Evil, that kind of level of terror where you just didn't know what to expect. So I bring all that up to say that according to a new report, Konami and PlayStation are currently working together to revive that canceled Silent Hill game. So there is, and we talked about this before, there is a reboot being headed up at SIE Japan Studio, but PlayStation is reportedly trying to mend that relationship between Kojima and Konami. And this all stemmed from that fallout in 2015 because there's such a high demand and such a buzz. People are still playing that PT playable test demo. And so even though it's not a done deal yet, there is a lot of rumors that this is going to be a reality, that they're gonna be able to bring back Kojima and revive this game, and that would be awesome. And I hesitate when I talk about rumors and things like that because you could say anything and call it a rumor, but I have seen so if you know, Kojima went on to make Death Stranding, and he was working with Norman Reedus to be as the main character of that game. And Norman Reedus kind of mentioned it in an interview he did where he said, because they asked him like, oh, is there going to be like a Death Stranding 2? And he goes, well, we haven't really talked about Death Stranding 2, but me and Kojima have talked about working on other projects together. And so he was rumored, but if you played that PT demo and you finished it, which very few people did because it's incredibly hard, but if you finished it, the main character finally walks out the house, the camera spins around, and it's Norman Reedus' face. Like it was Norman Reedus the whole time. He was the character. him saying that he's working now with Kojima on other projects outside of Death Stranding could very well lead some credence to this rumor that they're going to bring back that PT, hopefully with Norman Reedus attached as well, because I think he would do great in a horror genre. Yeah. That's,
why would you think he would fit into a horror genre? I'm not quite getting that.
right? I mean, it's not like he was in Blade and Walking Dead, and there was this really small movie he did which was so good. Oh, I forget the title of it, but it was like Air. It was called Air or something like that. But it had to do with like these guys were locked in this bunker and they they only had so much air to live, and it was a whole thing, man. But it was really good, super intense, and that dramatic way of everything's very serious, and that he does, and super really well done. I love that. That was a really good movie. Let's see what else. What else do we got? But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited because I think that looked really good back in 2015, and so if you could take that and make a full game and up to today's standards and today's technology, and make it for that 8K gaming that's coming down the line, oh man, and especially with the way that games are moving into the virtual reality space, that could be an intense virtual reality experience. I think, especially horror, because shooting games work great in VR. Fighting games work okay in VR, but I think something like horror was like made for virtual reality, because we're talking about heart-stopping terror when things are popping out and jumping out at you. Yeah, that would work super, super, super well. So for anybody that's interested in that, I'll keep you up to date as I learn more. More about gaming. So for a limited time, you can get the Tomb Raider game and 2 other games for free. So if you game on PC, the platform Steam is the platform where you can buy video games. They're currently giving away 3 games for free. One of these is the 2013 Tomb Raider reboot that was developed by Crystal Dynamics and published by Square Enix. The second free game is called Drawful 2, which is a party game for 3 to 8 players that debuted back in 2016 via Jackbox Games, which is, really popular for party games. And lastly, the third free game is another Lara Croft one, but this time it was the spin-off one. So back in 2013, they did a top-down shooter where it's a 4-player co-op that's it's one of those games where you 4 players shooting in every direction kind of a game. It was called what was it, Temple of Osiris, I think it was, the Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. That's what it was. So actually no, I'm sorry, I was wrong. The first one was Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. The sequel is Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris, like I said, which is the one they're giving away for free. So you can get the 2016 Tomb Raider game, Drawful 2, and Temple of Osiris. And if you're listening to this as a recording, as a playback, as a podcast, you might have missed it, because it literally, the free to download ends tonight at midnight. So it is March 24th. If you want those games, get them now. I think the only one that will stay free past today is that Drawful 2. I think they're trying to encourage people to socialize on gaming, so they're putting out a lot of these social gamings and making them free. And these are full game free downloads, so these aren't trials or demos. This is like you get the free full game. So definitely hop on Steam after the show and download your free games. So definitely do that. What else? Oh, I got a ton more gaming news. So this is the only thing coronavirus can't touch is our gaming, apparently. So there is a massive new PlayStation Store sale with discounts to over 500 PS4 titles. So, they just released, like I said, the specs for the PS5. And kind of in celebration of that, and I guess as kind of a send-off for the PS4, they're doing this, what they're calling the Mega March Sale. So they're discounting 506 PS4 games and add-ons. There's new games on there. There's old games on there. It's literally I took a small snapshot to show you, and here you go. This isn't even all of them. This is a handful of them. But you can literally see there's a massive ton of games, smaller games, bigger games, AAA titles, Far Cry's, Grand Theft Autos, anything, Call of Duties, anything and everything that's been available pretty much is going to be on sale, and it's varying as little as I think it's 10% off with as much as 80% off. So if you're a PlayStation 4 gamer, this is your chance to stock up on some titles at relatively good prices. So definitely look out, and of course, as always, be smart about your spending, because sometimes you can find a title cheaper on I don't know, Amazon used, or sometimes I don't know, in other mediums you can find it for cheaper. But this is as I was looking through it, there's just a lot of really good games for some really good decent prices. So definitely, you're more of a Xbox guy, right?
I am an Xbox guy. I'm all about the Xbox. But you know what? We have PS4s in the house. Not that I'm not a fan of them.
Right.
It just I prefer the Xbox. I always have.
Yeah. No. I'm right there with you. I've played plenty of PlayStation. I do prefer one over the other, but it's less that I don't like the PlayStation. I just prefer the Xbox. That's just kind of my home console, as it were.
Well, I'm kind of excited too, because now it looks like there's going to be some actual real differences in the Xbox and the PlayStation. Where now, essentially, between the PS4 and the Xbox One is basically the controller is the only real difference when it comes down to performance-wise.
Yeah.
So, it's.
Yeah, I tell people
I
that
don't
all
know.
the time.
I still think Xbox Live is a much better platform. I guess it's not really a platform, but service.
Yeah.
I don't know. Both of them are real popular, and I really do like how they're doing the cross-play, the cross-platform. Yeah. I know we talked earlier about World of Tanks. I know that World of Tanks is one. War Thunder is one. Oh, crap.
Yay, the stream dropped. Woo woo. That's what's happening, isn't it? We lost the stream, didn't we? I bet you we did.
Looks like it.
Yep, broadcasting was interrupted. Ah, man, I love it. Is it? Oh man. What are you gonna do?
We've kind of been waiting for it the way he's been going.
Yeah, and so I don't know if we're still live across any of the mediums. Let's see if we pull up something here just to test how we look. I don't know. Did it? We're live right now. So it seems like okay. It seems. It seems that we're still live on YouTube, so it might have just been a Facebook thing. I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore. I don't know what's happening.
Whatever. Make it work.
Yeah, screw it. Hey, we're gonna keep on driving on, man. If y'all still with me, thank you for still being here. We're gonna drive on. Facebook does its things the way Facebook does its things. We're gonna we're gonna roll with it, man. We're gonna absolutely roll with it. This show might just become a podcast full time. Instead of being a live show, we're just making a podcast because the only thing that ever survives is the recording, the playback. So that's all good. But all right, so we're done with gaming news. So we've talked a lot about gaming news.
Are we?
Unfortunately,
what else are we talking about then? Because that's basically all we got.
That's all we have left. So I've been scouring the world of anything in the bubble of pop culture is been expanding, and I'm also trying to push it out just so we can get some different news. So here's some fun one. Well, actually, not necessarily fun, but So wrestling, WWE, big, obviously huge. A lot of people are wrestling fans. The WrestleMania 36 has officially, it hasn't been canceled, hasn't been postponed, but it's been moved to the Performance Center. So that's where they train the wrestlers, where the up and coming wrestlers will train, which is in Orlando, Florida. And I'm just getting a message from the boss that he says it's all dropped. So cool. Which I think on YouTube I was still there. Yeah, so WrestleMania is being moved to the Performance Center. So if you had tickets to go to, I think it was the Tampa Bay Stadium, right? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers Stadium, the Raymond James Stadium in is it Jacksonville? No, not Jacksonville. What am I talking about? Literally Tampa Bay. It's literally called the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Stadium. So it was set to take place in Tampa Bay, and they moved it, and it's now being held in Orlando. So unfortunately, anybody that had tickets to WrestleMania, man, I don't know if they're going to give them tickets for next year's WrestleMania or what. I want to tell the boss that still up on YouTube. Now everybody's getting a peek behind the curtain.
So follow us, Phil's Flow back on YouTube. What's up?
Yeah. If anybody,
what's up, YouTube?
I'm gonna put that as a placeholder on the thing. Like, watch us on YouTube. You gotta post that to the page or something. Like, keep up with us on YouTube. It's the only thing that wants to hold steady. I'm sure it's my fault anyway, but that's okay. We'll figure it out eventually. So in more wrestling news, this came out of left field for me. I mean, there'd kind of been rumors, but this was a total shock for me, and that is that the former Patriot star Rob Gronkowski has signed a contract with WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. So he, I don't know, what is he gonna do? Apparently, the original report came that I guess he's gonna be an on-air talent, but I'm not sure if that's just gonna be like a hosting gig, or if he's
he's gonna be out there fucking busting heads. It's
right.
Gronk, dude. He's massive for one. He's a freak of nature, and he's gonna be out there just destroying them bitches.
Right, exactly, and that's what makes sense to me. You don't sign a deal with I keep trying to say wounded with WWE to be a host, to talk. I mean, he had that they were trying to get him on that gig for, what was it, on Fox, right? I think, where he was going to be on the commentary team, but I guess he was a little too wild for the Fox commentary team. So I guess now he can go wrestle. So I'm interested to see what's going to come of this, and how they're going to utilize Rob Gronkowski and his many talents. He kind of has always had that air about him where, like, he could have easily been a wrestler, right? He's got that attitude, that ego, that character, where it's almost like the character of him is bigger than the actual version of him. So I'm very curious to see what's going on there. So,
well, yeah, and how is he going to be larger than his personality already is? He's such a big person, just a presence, kind of like what's that chick from the NNA that went over there?
Ronda Rousey. Yeah.
Ronda Rousey, same deal. She's a big personality. She's a big figure. She has a presence, and I'm kind of, they should be like tag team fucking partners or some shit.
Yeah, well, I think she officially retired from wrestling.
No,
I think she wanted to go and have babies. I think it was her reasoning. She wanted to go start a family. So, no one's ever truly done with wrestling. I mean, my God, Hulk Hogan still gets out there and does stuff. No one's ever truly done. But I know that some people take time to you want to have a family and a little bit of normalcy in your life. I get it. She's been a fighter her whole life.
They owe Vince McMahon money. He'll fucking bust their knees if they don't get out there and wrestle for him. That's how it works.
Apparently. And I am getting thumbs up from some people that YouTube's still working, Periscope's still working. So, we're out there. I don't know how many people are watching or listening, but if nothing else, we're going to make a great podcast here, guys. So thanks for sticking with us. So here's a really cool story. And we'll do this story and then we'll take it to break. The headline is, you can get infected with the coronavirus in the name of science for $4,500. So a UK laboratory is studying the coronavirus pandemic. It's looking for 24 volunteers to purposefully inject with the virus as part of a program dubbed Flu Camp. So the Queen Mary Bioenterprises Innovation Center in London is offering to pay human lab rats about $4,500 for their time and trouble. The research company Hivio is attempting to develop a vaccine for the COVID-19 virus, which has already killed over 4,000 people worldwide. Interested guinea pigs will undergo a battery of tests before being selected. They will then be injected with 2 of the virus's weaker strains, which is OC43 and 229E. Patients can expect to suffer respiratory symptoms before being given new or existing vaccines to try to treat the disease. Doctors studying and treating the patients will be outfitted in protective clothing to prevent the spread of the infection. They will be charged with analyzing the patient's symptoms, responses to the vaccines. The lab says results will help researchers find the most effective treatment and fast-track them to the marketplace. So participants infected with the disease will have to stay in quarantine for about 2 weeks, eat a restricted diet, and avoid human contact and exercise. About 20 research firms are racing to develop a vaccine for the disease, which could be ready by next winter, according to the latest reports. So what say you, sir, if I told you I would pay you $4,500 so that you could be quarantined for the next 2 weeks with this respiratory disease infection virus? Would you take it up?
I don't know. I don't know, because I have kids. I love my kids, and I want to be a granddad someday and all that stuff. But $4,500 for 2 weeks, that's like $9,000 a month. I'll do it twice. What's up? And then, I mean, if you're in quarantine all by yourself, it's got to be quiet in there, right?
Yeah.
Just give me an Xbox and I'll be keep my phone or something. It'll be all right.
Probably all the games.
I even have Skype. I have Skype on my phone, dude. I could do the radio from the quarantine bed.
Yeah. You can, hey, I'm starting to sell you on this idea, aren't I?
No, but in all realness, I'm not super scared of this, but I'm cautious.
Yeah.
I've been being pretty cautious. I'm not living in fear of it or whatever, but wash my hands a little more. Yeah. I went to the gas station earlier to get some stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm not touching nothing in this place. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go to Walmart first thing in the morning so I don't have to deal with people, but going and getting it on purpose, man, I don't know. That's ballsy. I'll give that.
And here's the underlie. This is what I always think in situations like this. You could be the hero that discovers the right vaccine, that discovers the right cure to this thing. You know what I mean? You could be given the treatment that instantaneously it's like, oh, I feel great, I'm better, and that saves the world. You know what I mean? And you were the guy. You were the first guy to get the cure, kind of a thing. There's always the other downside where you die. You die from this. It kills you because they don't know what the hell they're gonna inject you with or how it'll react. I mean, there's always that too. Or you could be the first guy with superpowers. I'm just saying. You could have superpowers, or on the other side, you could be the first zombie in the world. The one virus turns into a super virus that mutates. This is the beginning of every sci-fi movie, right? It turns into a one virus that mutates, and someone coughs in just the right manner, and it's radioactive, and you're bit by a spider at the same time, and next thing you know, boom, zombies everywhere.
Could be. Oh, that'd be awesome. Wait. you'd be like a real life superhero, like you'd be like Captain Wheezy or something like that, right? Because you all fucking could breathe and shit. I'm in. Oh, Captain Wheezy. But it'd be really hard to hide your identity though when you're like you can't walk up a flight of stairs because you're all fucking wheezy and shit.
That's true. That's true. But you could stop bad guys. You could be like, stop, or I'll cough on you, and like no, I don't want to be sick for a month. You know, like, oh man, so
like a web of. Yes.
Good stuff. But yeah, so for those that are interested, you know, you can, if anyone out there is actually interested in this, you know, reach out and I'll pass on the info on how to get in touch with the people so you can you can get quarantined in the name of
Probably
science.
you better be a good swimmer because I don't think there's any flights going to England right now.
That's true. Yeah, and we'll put you on a boat. We'll put you on. We'll mail you over there. But all right, yeah, we are just about at the top of the hour. We are going to take a small break. I'm being told that we're up on all social medias except for Facebook because Facebook just hates me for some reason. So we're still kicking strong. So if you guys are the lucky ones out there listening in, you guys are the lucky one. You're the smart ones. Avoid Facebook. I don't want to get shut down from Facebook. Please don't ban me, Facebook. I'm sorry. So yeah, good. So we'll be right back. And yeah, I'll even try to maybe I'll try to bring us back up on Facebook while I'm on the break. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll see how I feel about it. Maybe cut it. We'll cut it in and then try to. Yeah, it doesn't look like boss says it might not matter. So, all right, cool. We will go to break and then we'll be right back. So stay tuned, and we got a lot more good stuff coming up your way. So just hang out with us, and we'll be back. See you in a bit. Shots.
Call the show now at 415. You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
You got me staring out the window. 8 hours later, you're a no-show. We're
Here, take this photograph, tell me what it is you see when you look at me. Deep into the photography, I don't really need your sympathy, just tell me your thoughts. Have I got what they got, and is it a plot done for naught? Am I not like you, because I do what I do? Who knew that I could lose a few of you, cause I bleed blue? But it's true, I know, cause I see it every day as I work and I sleep the day away. Like you I have pain, and like you I have fear. Can I pay all of the bills and still make it through the year? Will I make it home alive? Should I pray to the sky every day and every night? Will I hold you by my side? But in the public eye, I don't even have a heart. A robot of the system moving only when I'm told to start. Rip apart my art, I'm strong like a flower blooming. You got it all wrong, I know. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
Call me a vet like a soldier, Green Beret, 21 gun salute, don't wanna see the day. In the constant war zone, in the home of the brave, where they hate the police until they saving the day. I got kids like you, a mortgage like you, so blue lives matter, and so does yours too. All this separation and divide, open your eyes. If you cut us all open, we the same inside. The only difference is I run to the gunfight. Your peace when it's chaos, when the people don't act right. But I'm under scrutiny for trying to protect me. You pull a pistol and I'm shooting for trying to contest me. I got a quick second to make a deadly decision. The media betray me like a kid for a living, like I'm cold with no heart, a brain with no thoughts, a body with no feeling, a life with no cause.
Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. I'm damned if I do, and damned if I don't. It's like every single time I say what's on my mind, they go for my throat, they spew evil words. If you are absurd, always grinding, grinning, and killing my soul with these verbs. Hold me down, like I can't gasp for air. I'm closed inside of a box, like I'm inside Fort Knox. Every time that I'm there, I don't know why they think that I'm different from you. All that's true is I'm a like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
I'm headed down south where the cotton grows tall. Out on the river when the rain starts to fall. Got that motorboat running fast as I can. Smoke in my mouth, cold beer in my hand. Born on the Delta on the Mississippi. Hunting and fishing was the life made for me. Country boy living, born and raised in the South. If you don't like my style, keep my name out your mouth. Down in Louisiana, might talk a little slow, but I'm proud of who I am. Fought for the flag, that's that army in me. And if you don't like that, well, if you don't like that, now if you don't like that, you can kiss my Dixie ass. Just a kid, how to work the field and how to use my fist, how to stand tall and how to be a man. Raised me up with pride to be a southern man. Country ain't about the moonlight. I've said it once before, born and raised in the South. If you don't like my style, keep my name out your mouth. Dixie ass.